The 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs are underway in Toronto and Edmonton, where the Blues are isolated in the hockey bubble. But what exactly is the hockey bubble?
The bubble is a physically confined area encompassing the rink and 3 hotels, all in downtown Edmonton, that's surrounded by a roughly 10-foot high chain link fence where there's security that allows people to go through that bubble area within the confined space while keeping separate from the rest of the citizens of downtown Edmonton.
So the Blues were allowed to bring 31 players and 21 staff members to Edmonton. How did everyone get here safely?
Well, they flew charter, and so if you fly charter, you do not have to be quarantined once you come into the bubble. If you either drove yourself or if you flew commercial, then you would have to quarantine for the 4 days.
It's clear that the NHL is very concerned about safety for players and staff members. So why are those precautions so necessary?
Health and safety is of paramount importance to the NHL, and the only way to do that is to safely do inside the bubble, where the players are tested daily, where there's no contact with any outside influences that may cause a positive infection, either from inadvertent spread from a person or from surface-to-surface contact with a player. And so they've really done the best job possible.
Everyone in the bubble is getting tested, so how does that work?
We do about 1,300 tests every day. They alternate between the nasal swabs and the oral pharyngeal test. We also have an app built into our phone that's based on facial recognition. This app does infrared temperature checks of us, and then it will certify that we are who we say we are and that we do not have a temperature. We have to do that every 12 hours.
We hope this doesn't happen, but what is the procedure if a Blues player or staff member does test positive?
If a player or staff member tests positive while they're in Edmonton, they are quarantined within their room for 14 days. If unfortunately, their team loses and goes back to their home city, they have to stay in Edmonton until that 14-day elapses before they can go back home.
How did the pause impact player conditioning and overall health?
They were limited. The gyms were all closed unless their apartment or their condominium had a Peloton inside their room. They couldn't really exercise. Golf was available, so I know a number of them played golf on a daily basis, which was a safe way to be able to exercise. But the first couple of weeks, the elective workouts, it was a training camp situation, and it's continued to improve. And as the playoffs go on, that will obviously be less and less of an issue.
How are the players handling all this?
The players have been very upbeat this whole time. Obviously, this is a new experience for everybody. These are young men. They're used to having fun. They'll find a way to have fun, even with being within the bubble. Everyone's trying to live life the best they can. They want to get back to defend the Stanley Cup. Everyone's gunning for them, and they know that. And that's sort of an exciting part of being here.
What is it like to be part of this season?
Just the experience of being part of this. This is going to be a historic event. Medical articles are going to be written about this whole process, and it's really cool to be part of a learning experience of that nature.
The Blues and the NHL are taking COVID-19 very seriously, and the fans should be taking precautions too. As a physician, what would you tell fans to do to protect themselves?
As a doctor, I would tell my patients the same thing I would tell the Blues players. Follow the CDC recommendations in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Wear face masks whenever you leave home. Practice social distancing. Sterilize your hands once you touch something. Avoid groups of more than 10 people. Only when we work together in these ways can we prevent the spread of this infection. We're going to stay as safe as possible during the time that we try to defend the Stanley Cup here in Edmonton. I have no idea how long this is going to last, but we're going to be safe and secure during the time that we're here.
And that's the science of St. Louis Blues hockey.